So one of the questions I get frequently is people wondering if the market is saturated. And I've had another training program going back to 2008 for helping people become an event ticket broker. And I always got the same question there. And it's an interesting question because the fact that somebody thinks that I can saturate the business loan market in the United States I appreciate the confidence that people have in me. But when you really think about it, I don't care what industry you're in, that you can enter any industry, doesn't matter how big or small, and become a monster in it if you want to. At the end of the day, it's all about your willingness to work and do what you need to do to grow that business. But when you look at this business specifically, you're talking about the business loan market. I just put up a article from Inc. magazine on the Facebook page and the group about the 5 biggest industries of making money in 2017. And number 3 was the financial industry, but more specifically, these loans, these short-term alternative financing loans. It's a monster industry, and I don't think people realize it because it's not on the news. No one's talking about it, and only if you're a true business owner do you really even know it exists. So I understand that the average person doesn't even understand it, so I get that, which is why we're making this video. So when people come to me and say, oh, you're on Facebook, and if everybody posts on Facebook, is it gonna, or really LinkedIn and Twitter and Google and every other type of marketing out there? No, I'm not gonna saturate it. It's impossible. For me, one person, even if I spent 50 grand a day, I still wouldn't touch the $1 billion marketing budget that Chase and Bank of America and right. Capital One and Wells Fargo all have, right? I'm not gonna even touch it. So, and that's not my goal either. So it's not even like I'm trying to achieve something I'll never achieve. So I just want people to understand that this is a monster market. And listen, you individually, whoever's watching this, realistically, all you care about is making a few extra grand a month to pay off your bills, get your head above water if you're, in debt or whatever. That's all you really care about. The whole making millions and millions of dollars is great, but you got to start. I've been doing this for 3 years. All right. So yeah, sure. In 3 years, maybe you can get to where I am, or maybe a year or two, depending on how good you are at, running a business, etc. But realistically, it took me 3 years to get here. It didn't happen overnight. And don't look at my true success as something that you have to go for or say, oh, wow, that's a tall hill to climb. I don't want to do this because I can't get there. Don't think about it that way. Think about it as just making a couple of grand a month, and that's it. Start there, and then you keep growing slowly and slowly. As you learn more about the business, it's going to be easier to make more money. So that's realistically anyone's game plan. Should be in any business you do. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be this business. It's any business you get involved in. That's the goal. When James started his last business, he didn't say, okay, I want to become the biggest franchise operator in this. No, he said, all right, let's go month 1. Let me get my money back. Right. Let me get my $70,000 back. Let me get that back as quickly as possible. Let me start there. Then I'll start making a profit. Then I'll hopefully make, X amount and whatever the goals are of the individual, or in your case, you. Right. So that's it. So if you want to do this, start small and just keep growing. And one other thing I'll say is of how simple it is to make $2,000 to $10,000 a month doing this. The reason why is because the average deal size of a loan is going to come out to about $2 grand. So if you're going to make $2,000 for one deal, that means you need to close 1 deal a month. And we made a video the other day or last week about this, on how, think about it, 40 hours a week, 160 hours a month, and just a work day. Forget about just working 24/7 and being an animal. If you just are a 40-hour type person, you're telling me in 160 hours of work, you can't find one person to get a business loan from you? That means you're just not working. That's all that means. Because if you truly put 160 hours into something, you're going to close 1 deal. And that's $2,000. Just look at it that way. And when you work with more of a local market, forget about paid marketing. Work with your local market, free marketing, stuff like that. Well, in that case, the deal size are going to be bigger because that's just the way it works. When you do paid marketing, the deal size actually becomes smaller. When you do local market and maybe talk to a local bank or a friend of a friend, etc., you're going to have a higher commission per deal because the deal size is going to be bigger. So maybe it's $4,000 or $5,000 a deal. Then on top of that, you're going to have a higher success rate because if 10 people refer you, if you get 10 referrals, you're going to close probably 8 of them. If you get 100 leads, you may only close a few of them. You know what I mean? So that's just the way it is. It's a much smaller conversion ratio. When it's strangers and it's lead gen or any type of lead generation that you're doing or paid marketing that you're doing, your conversion ratio is a lot smaller versus James, calling up, a friend of his saying, hey, I can get you a business loan, contact this guy. I'm going to close that deal. Mm-hmm. That person's going to trust me, obviously. I mean, hopefully you understand this and already know this stuff, but that's the truth. So that's all I have to say. You have anything to say? You good?
I think
just along for the ride?
I'm along for the
ride. You watching the game or not?
Yeah. Still tied.
Still tied. All right. That's it for this video. Hopefully you learned something and let us know if you have any questions.